So today we will be starting with the first realm, and that is known by the name Australian realm. Now, in the case of Australian realm, you may have some idea where is Australia, and if you look at this map, this is the map of Australia. So Australia is it's a small continent. If you look at it as a continent, it's a very small continent. But if you consider it as an island, it is a very large island. So sometimes we call Australia as a island continent, and this is located at the southern side of the world. That is why Australis. That is the Austra means south. So it is from that word Austra it became Australia. Now, if you look at the geographical limits of this realm, it includes Australia, then island of New Guinea. Here you can see that there is New Guinea. There is somewhere here, there is New Guinea. Okay, this is the Papua New Guinea. This island is known as New Guinea. Then next is the eastern part of Indonesian archipelago, including Sulawesi and Moluccan Islands. So this is the Indonesia, and this portion is coming under the Australian realm. So Papua New Guinea is that eastern side of Indonesia. These are all Indonesian islands. Java, etc. are Indonesian islands. All these are coming under the Australian realm. Then Moluccan Islands and islands of Lombok, Sumbawa, Sumba, Flores Timor. These are actually islands present in Indonesia, and they are sometimes known as Lesser Sundas. So if you type say these are all islands of Indonesia, you can see that. So these islands are known by the name Lesser Sunda Islands. See here, you can see that. Name is quite interesting. See here, you can see that. These are the islands which are coming under the Lesser Sunda group of islands. See, Java, Bali. Bali you might have heard. It's a very famous tourist place. Then Lombok is another. Then Sumba, Flores, Timor. All these are actually coming under the Lesser Sunda group of islands. So these are the main islands which are contributing the Australian realm. The Australia is along with Australia, some larger as well as smaller islands are also part of Australian realm. That is, you can see that this entire portion and some areas in this area are also coming under the Australia. And here Australian realm, and here there is a smaller island. This island is known by the name Tasmania. So Tasmania is a very colder island. It is one of the coldest portion of Australia that is also included in the Australian realm. Then we can also see that there are several Pacific island groups like Bismarck Archipelago, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands, New Caledonia. Here you can see that some of these islands like Solomon Islands is there, Vanuatu is there, New Caledonia is there. So all these islands are very closely connected with each other. They are geographically very near to each other. So all these portions are actually coming under the Australian realm. So now the next part is we have to see what are the physical features. When we say about the physical features, we are studying about the climate, etc. Then also land features. So we have this land and climate are actually coming under the physical features. So if you look at Australia, this is a physiographic map of Australia. There are two types of map. So one map is the political map. Political map will be showing the political boundaries. Like if you take the political map of India, we can see Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, etc. But if you look at the physical map or the physiographical map, it will be appearing like that. It will be showing the mountains, rivers, etc., highland, lowland, grassland, etc. So such a map is known as a physical map or a physiographical map. So here, if you look at the Australia, this is how the Australia will be present. I will show you one more map also, maybe here it is present here. See, here also you can find another. There is also another map is here. Again, let's see both maps. See, this is also another map. So here this is very clearly showing what are the major geographical features as well as which are the warmer area as well as colder areas. So if you look at this map, you can see that the northern side, northern part, this is the northern part is tropical. Here you can see that this area, this is the northern portion. If you look at, you may have some friends or relatives in Australia. Australia has several major cities are there, like Perth is in the west. Then this side it is Melbourne is here, Sydney is here, Brisbane is here. These are the 4 major cities of Australia. Now, and if you take that, they might have also told you some interesting features of Australia, like this is another metal map. See, this eastern side of Australia, this side. So this side of Australia is mostly green. That is almost green as Kerala. We know how Kerala is looking like. So almost a similar type of vegetation, plants, etc. we can see in the eastern side of Australia, where mainly Brisbane is there, Canberra is there, Victoria is there. So then Cairns is there, Gold Coast is. So this eastern side of Australia is having a tropical climate. What do you mean by tropical climate? A climate just like the climate of Kerala, because we are living in a tropical belt. I will show you how a tropical see, so this is the actually the tropical areas. Here you can see that. So this is how the countries are divided into different areas. See, here there is the equator. Okay, equator is coming through certain areas of South America, mainly through areas of Brazil. Then through the middle of Africa, the equator is passing, and through Indonesia, equator is passing. So this is the equatorial line. Now below there is another line. That line is known as Tropic of Capricorn. You can see also the Tropic of Capricorn. And there is also another line here which passes through India, Africa and North America, and that is known as the Tropic of Cancer. Now you can see that this region between Tropic of Cancer as well as Tropic of Capricorn is known by the name tropical belt or tropical area. So Kerala is actually in a tropical area. So one important feature of a tropical climate is that nearly the length of day as well as length of night will be somewhat same. That is 12 hours of daytime and 12 hours of night time. So that is one important feature of the tropical climate. So then if you have some relatives in UK, they might be telling that in some certain season they have more night time and less daytime. So that is the case in many parts of the Europe. More night time, that is instead of 12 hours of night, they may have 14 hours of night or 16 hours of night, sometimes more than that. So that is the case in many parts of the Europe. If you go to the northern side northern side or to the extreme southern side like Antarctica, this is how the day length and night length will be presented. So that is known as the tropical belt. So one important feature of the tropical belt is that they have 12 hours of daytime and 12 hours of night time. So that is an important feature. Another feature of the tropical climate is that in a tropical climate, usually we have a temperature just like the temperature of a Kerala. Our temperature is always about 20 degrees centigrade. Very rarely, even during December, January, it is usually around 20. Only in Munnar area or hill areas of Kerala, the temperature goes below 28 degree. So in most other parts of Kerala, the temperature will be above 20. So that is the case with the temperature. So that is one feature of the tropical climate. Temperature will be mostly about 20 degree in most parts of the area. So tropical climate have these two important features. Then it will be also getting a lot of sunlight and a lot of rainfall also. So these are two important features of the tropical climate. We have monsoon season. We get a lot of rain, and because our state is located at the center of the earth. So it is because of the position in the center of almost near the center of the earth, the monsoon winds is giving a lot of rainfall, and also there is high temperature during April and May. So all these are actually important feature of the tropical climate. So when we say Australia is having a tropical climate, this side of Australia, here you can see that this side of Australia, here also you can see is having a tropical belt or climate almost like the climate of Kerala. Then southern part is temperate. Where is southern part? This is the southern part. I will show you also that this is the southern part. In a temperate climate, and the main features of the temperate climate is that I will list out what are the main features of, because the temperature will be always below 20 degree. So these are the important features of the temperate climate. All we don't need to. So one is neither extremely hot or extremely cold. If you just like that is if you go to the Germany or France or many parts of Europe, we are finding a temperate climate. Another peculiarity is that 4 distinct seasons. That is one feature. For example, we have a summer season, and in winter also it is not extremely cold. Then that is then we have rainy season. But here it is not like that. If you go to Australia or Europe, they have 4 distinct seasons. One is spring. It is during the spring season the plants will be flowering. After the spring season comes the summer. So it is a time of extreme hot weather. And after summer it is autumn. Autumn means before a season before winter. And during that season, and if you are in UK or in Europe, in Australia, you can see that the plants will be shedding its leaves. Here we have rubber. You might have noticed that just before the winter season, if you go to a rubber plantation, these rubber leaves are all being shed. So this falling of, because rubber is not a native plant of Kerala. It was introduced here from South America. So that is why rubber is exhibiting that characteristics. But in the case of autumn season, it is a season just before the winter. So it won't be too much cold, but still cold will be slightly coming during the autumn season. After that there is winter, and winter will be again followed by a flowering season, which is known by the spring. So that is appearance of 4 distinct seasons will be present in a temperate climate. Then another peculiarity of the temperate climate will be moderate rainfall. So in a tropical climate we will have a lot of rainfall. just like the rainfall we are experiencing in Kerala. We have a rainfall of around 300 centimeters per year. But if you go to UK, it will be below 200 centimeters per year. So that difference is there in the rainfall. Then another is deciduous vegetation. Deciduous vegetation means trees like teak, etc. Teak, rubber, etc. These are all plants which are shedding leaves. Such types of plants are present in temperate climate. Then frequent changes in weather pattern. Another peculiarity is most of the time they are present between 30 and 60 degree latitude. Now, in a very simple term, I will also tell two more other characteristic feature of the temperate climate. One is with the temperature, its temperature will be always below 20 degree. So, in a temperate climate, the temperature will be always below 20 degrees centigrade, most of the time around 10 to 15 degrees centigrade. But in a tropical climate, temperature will be about 20 degree. And second major feature of the temperate climate will be that compared with the tropical climate, temperate climate will be more colder. 4 distinct seasons will be there. So when we say the southern part of Australia, which are the southern part, this is the southern part. So this portion of the Australia, mainly Melbourne. So though if you have relatives or if you ever going to Australia, you may understand that certain areas of Australia are more warmer, hotter, whereas certain areas of Australia are more colder. And when we are in Kerala, we don't need to put a lot of creams, especially moisturizing creams. Because if you live in a climate, if you go to these places, one important problem that we feel, because we are adapted to living in Kerala or climate of the Kerala, our skin will be getting cracked. A lot of cracking will be there. We have to constantly apply moisture creams or moisturizing creams. Otherwise, our skin become more dry and lot of skin cracks will be there, and that is a very painful situation. So that is a problem of living in a colder place for people like us. But slowly we may, after several years, we may get adjusted. But still, we will never get adjusted like the people who are native to that land. So here you can see that Melbourne, Hobart, Canberra are all in the southern part or in the temperate part of Australia. So that is one important feature of the Australia. See, here also you can see that all these are actually under the temperate, the southern portion are all in the temperate regions of the Australia. Here also you can see that. See, this is how the Australia is divided into tropical. The middle portion are all subtropical, and the lower portion are all temperate. So there is a large area of Australia is actually having a temperate climate. Then you can also see this is how the vegetation will be appearing. Then next feature of the Australia is the interior. Now if you look at that, these yellow areas are all very dry areas, interior of Australia. See this white area, these are all actually desert. So one important, even though Australia is a very large country, living in Australia is not easy, because nearly 90% of the Australia is actually desert. Here you can see that. See, a lot of deserts are there. See, you can also see that Great Sandy Desert, Gibson Desert, Little Sandy Desert, Tanmai Desert, Simpson Desert, Great Victoria Desert. So the middle of Australia is actually desert. So if you think that Australia is a very nice place, it is not actually not a very comfortable. Only in certain area we have a comfortable weather. In middle of Australia, very few people are living, because living there is almost very difficult. There won't be any mobile range. My friends who are living in Australia, they say that if you want to go to the interior of Australia, you have to take an insurance first, because if your car is having a problem, then you won't get anyone to repair it. Second, there is no mobile range, so you cannot contact anyone. If there is any health emergency, the life will be in a threatening situation. So these are the problems of Australia. Only the outer seashore areas of Australia are actually in a habitable situation or in a comfortable for life. Here also you can see that. See, this inner portion of Australia are actually all desert. So this is how the Australian weather. See, this is how if you go to the Australia, how the desert of Australia will be appearing. Then and you can also see from this picture. See, a lot of area of Australia are actually desert. So nearly a large area, and these are the true desert, and these are the semi-desert areas. Then next feature of Australia is so interior is arid. Arid means very dry. That is the meaning of the word, almost like a desert. So for example, if you go to the Rajasthan, Gujarat, Delhi, all these areas are very dry. But if you go to Delhi, you may not feel that it is a dry place because they plant a lot of trees. Even if you go to Rajasthan, for example, Jaipur, you may feel that Jaipur is like a green city because they plant a lot of trees, because they know the importance of trees. So they keep planting a lot of trees. In Jaipur, I have seen so many trees on either side of the road. So that is because otherwise, unless they are actually planted by the people, the climate there is very dry with very few trees. Then Eastern Australia is covered with a lush green forest. Here you can see that this is the eastern side. See, this is the eastern side. This eastern side of Australia. This is the eastern side of Australia. And these are the cities which are present in the eastern side. One is Brisbane, and then Gold Coast is there, Newcastle is there, Wollongong is there, Canberra is there, Victoria is there, Geelong. All these are on the eastern side of Australia. Then there is Cairns here. All these are actually green areas where just like bananas are here, jackfruit is there, mangoes are here. We can all see that kind of trees and vegetation in the eastern side of Australia. So eastern side of Australia has a climate mostly similar to the climate of Kerala. So that is one peculiarity of the eastern side of Australia. Then, so that is about the eastern lush green forest. So that is why this portion is having a green color. The Western Australia is desert. So this is the Western Australia. It is a desert, and there are grass. These are all grasslands. So in the middle of the Western, or this here you can say, these are all grasslands. Here also you can see that. So this is also a grassland. See, in these grasslands, there are a lot of trees. These grasslands of Australia are like savannas, where a lot of wild animals like kangaroos, because they are mainly running animals, they need a lot of space for running, and they are also feeding on this grass. So just like our cows or cattle, these animals are mainly feeding on grass present in this grassland. So there are a lot of grassland between this tropical forest area as well as this desert inner areas. So that is also a peculiarity of Australia. So coming to the physical features, these are the major physical features of the Australia. So northern part is tropical, southern part is temperate, then interior is very dry, eastern side is with a lot of trees, western side of Australia is more desert-like. Then this is a map showing what are the ecological regions of Australia. So he can see that the areas which are green in color will be having more trees. Areas which are white in color are mostly desert, and yellowish means not so warm and not so that much dry, but still more drier. Then you can see these are all pure typical Mediterranean type of climate. This is the brown area, Mediterranean type of climate. Mediterranean, it's a type of climate observed around the seas in seas around the Mediterranean Sea in Europe. So this is a typical division of Australia into different type of climatic regions. Then we have four sub-regions are there. Australia can be divided into four major sub-regions are there. One is Austro-Malayan sub-region, Australian sub-region, Polynesian region and New Zealand region. So the entire Australia. So first one is the Austro-Malayan sub-region. So if you take the Austro-Malayan sub-region, it mainly consists of Malayan archipelago, certain islands of Malaysia, then New Guinea and Solomon Islands. Here you can see that. So these are the portions which are coming under the eastern, the first Austro-Malayan sub-region, and that is on the northern side of Australia. So these are here, the lot of islands are there. These are occupying countries of Malaysia and Indonesia, and so a lot of Solomon smaller islands are also there, like Solomon Islands. All these are actually part of the first sub-region known by the name Austro-Malayan sub-region. Now another sub-region is the entire Australia plus Tasmania. Here you can see that this is the Australia and this is the Tasmania. That is the second sub-region. And third sub-region is the Polynesian sub-region. Islands of Polynesia and Sandwich Island. Here you can see that. So these are all Polynesian islands like New Zealand. So a lot of smaller islands are there. So this is the Melanesia, Micronesia and Polynesia. So it's a very large area actually. If you compare Australia with this size of Polynesia, you will get an idea. It's a very large area. In that large area, lot of small islands are there. Cook Islands, Marcus Island, Phoenix Island. So all these are, Hawaii is there, Tuvalu is there, Kiribati is there. So all these areas are actually coming under the Polynesian sub-region. Then finally, New Zealand sub-region. New Zealand sub-region is mainly, this is the New Zealand. See here you can see that. The New Zealand is very far, around 1,500 kilometers away from Australia. You can also see that. So very far away island. So this is the New Zealand sub-region. It is considered as a different sub-region according to the classification. So this is an idea regarding different types of sub-region, how the sub-regions are present, because they have a slightly different feature. So each of the sub-region may be having a slightly different climate and slightly different type of animals and plants also. That is why we are classifying it as a separate. So in case of Australia, we are finding four types of region: Austro-Malayan, Australian, Polynesian and New Zealand sub-region. So with this we stop here.